You see, it has grown 3 times the size of my palm within a week. Hey plant lover, how you doing? Welcome and thank you for tuning in. You seem new here, or you are. Alright, here is something I want you to do. Please go ahead and subscribe and join the fun. This is what I'm going to cover today. Propagation of hibiscus from cuttings. How to procure cuttings holds utmost importance, mind you. How are cuttings made? Done right, success rate goes up considerably. The rooting medium, you cannot get this wrong, for God's sake. And yes, conditions, temperature, sunlight, etc. And the most exciting thing, the result. How to maximize the growth pattern right after your cutting is in the soil. Sounds good enough? Well then, watch the video and then grab some hibiscus cuttings to get some more young plants in your garden. Let's begin. Procuring the cuttings. If you got a plant which is less than 2 years old, cuttings should be procured as close as possible to the base. And if the plant is more than 2 years old, then a cutting from anywhere near the top would work better. So my plant is less than 2 years old, so I'm getting a cutting right at the base. Now how to make cuttings? Go with the size of your palm to measure the size of the cuttings. That's about the right size. You don't need to scrape the hibiscus cuttings, whether rooting them in water or in soil. I've done that, but wasn't necessary. And make sure the bottom part of the cutting is at a 45-degree angle. So our rooting medium is getting ready. Water is groundwater. You can dip these cuttings in cinnamon and water solution for a couple of hours and then transfer them into the normal tap water. If the tap water is there, then simply start your cuttings without the cinnamon powder. So conditions, temperature, sunlight, etc. The best container would be a disposable transparent plastic cup. Temperature should be anywhere between 23 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. Sunlight, shaded area with only filtered light works the best. Pot should be 2 times the size of the plant, so take your pick accordingly. Alright, these are the cuttings after a week. You see those white buds forming between the area where you have nodes, internodes. So the part I had scrapped, or the bottom half of this cutting, is showing signs of root growth. If you see those white patches, white spots on the stems which you have put in water, that means your roots are about to show really soon. So don't be too happy when your cuttings show leaf growth, because that's not a sign of root growth. It's simply the sugar, the nutrients which the stem already has. It's trying to make food and produce leaves. So we got to have a concentration on the bottom part. If it's rotting, you got to get rid of it. If it's showing signs of those white nodes trying to form root, then you are in for a big surprise of your own plant. And look at this, after 3 weeks, you get those roots popping out. And why I said you don't need to scrap the hibiscus cuttings. The reason is because the roots would only come out at the bottom part which you had cut at 45 degrees. I would suggest whenever you're starting a hibiscus cutting, get at least 3 cuttings, because sometimes you do everything right and still some of the cuttings would not root and they'll start rotting. And just to avoid the disappointment of not getting any results, make sure you try 2 or 3 of them, because it's very natural. If you start 5 cuttings, 1 or 2 might just not work. So that's after 4 weeks. You see the root size, it's almost grown 2-3 inches long. And it tells me that it needs soil now to grow and to become a healthy, a bigger plant. You got to keep changing water every 3-4 days. If you see it's getting muddy, it's getting black, it's getting brown, it's turning green, just change the water. Soil mix: when repotting, mix 30% garden soil, 30% sand and 40% coco peat. So what you need to do is, to maximize the growth pattern, grab an orange peel, dry it in partial sun, and then grab a bunch of eggshells. Voila! You have a great fertilizer for a young hibiscus plant. Yeah, so we are all set. You got to give them a week before you can add any kind of fertilizer. And the best fertilizer would be the one which I spoke about, the orange peel and eggshells. Yeah, this is what you got to do after a week. Sun-dried orange peels, eggshells, just put them in and see this hibiscus cutting grow 2-3 times within a week. You see, it has grown 3 times the size of my palm within a week. I can assure you, you will be successful at propagating hibiscus cuttings 99 times out of 100. So if you have tried and you have failed, follow these steps and try it again. And if it doesn't work out, you can post your comment and we will check what's happening to your cuttings. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, suggestions, please make sure you share them in the comment section. Thank you for your time here, and please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you again with another plan, another strategy, and yes, another day. Until then, take care, good luck, goodbye.